Thomas Sumter, The Fighting Gamecock.
By Emma Bright and Maddie Hammond. Thomas Sumter's experiences with the indigenous peoples in the region,
His distinct style of warfare,
his leadership against the British as they tried to move through South Carolina,
and his active political involvement fighting for states' rights firmly established him as one of South Carolina's Revolutionary War leaders.
Famous for his military combat, he was dubbed the fighting gamecock of his time, and was described as fearless and inexorable, like a gamecock he struck with fiery gusts, leaving death and carnage at every pitting. So Sumter not only showed strength in combat, but also later in his political roles, which gave him a greatly influential role in protecting states' rights against the overreach of the government.
Of the many influential people in the history of South Carolina, Thomas Sumter stands out as a heroic figure during the years leading up to the Revolutionary War, and as a result of his military and political contributions, he played a significant role in securing the freedom for not only South Carolinians, but also for people in the surrounding southern states.
Originally a part of the Virginian military, his battle experiences in the backwoods during the French and Indian War soon served him well. Years later, Sumter would marry and settle in South Carolina, becoming a successful and prominent businessman and plantation owner. He was eventually named Brigadier General of South Carolina Militia and led many battles against the British. Newly arrived Europeans were making their way through the region. Thomas Sumter became well acquainted with the Cherokee Indians and their leaders, helping to ease the tense situations. For example, he accompanied the delegation to London and acted as an interpreter for the Cherokee Indians before King George III.
On October 28, 1762, he spent that winter with the Cherokee.
During this time, Sumter single-handedly captured a French mission called Baron d'Ones.
This man was sent from France to try and create tension between the British and the Cherokee.
Without the knowledge of and experience with the natives, he may have never intercepted the French mission sent to create tension among the Cherokee and British, and the war we know today as the French and Indian War may have lasted longer. In this case, this would have caused more bloodshed and stronger tensions between the natives and Britain.
He played a significant role in keeping the peace between the British and the Cherokee. There were also many times when he was forced into battle. Thomas Sumter is well known for his distinct combat style, earning him the nickname the Fighting Gamecock.
Thomas Sumter had great political impact on people during and after he retired from the Army. He was a political leader after he retired and became a war veteran. He was nominated and elected several times.
He was chosen to be governor numerous times by the people and was nominated to represent South Carolina more than once in different offices. He actually had refused any more nominations for them to stop electing him. In conclusion, Thomas Sumter used this influence in politics and government to help lead the people in his long career.
He helped guide the people of South Carolina and helped show them a correct path on which they could walk. Thomas Sumter is a very determined, hard-working general.
Thomas Sumter, through the whole history of his recorded life, was almost always working for the common good of both South Carolina and America. He was always fighting in wars or leading people in some other significant way.
Thomas Sumter fought in many battles and wars, proving his worth as a hard-working general that cared both for his troops and his country.
Example for the previous idea. Because of his battle achievement and his merits, he was actually promoted to general. At this point in time, he hadn't seen much battle, and this was a very high honor. To the left, you can see one of the books that he was written based purely off of his achievements.
Thomas Sumter was constantly striving to be the best possible to work for the good of others, even if it was indirectly, or even if he was unaware of what he was doing.
It is true that he is known for his distinctive battle style, but how did it positively impact modern-day engagement? Did he really add value to the battle of technique of South Carolina's military defense?
In general recap, Thomas Sumter was one of the most impactful and important political and strategic war generals we've ever had, and he constantly put others before himself in pursuit of freedom and rights.
He used his political and war influence to help aid the lives of others.
This knowledge is applicable to everyday things also.
For example, have you ever thought without Thomas Sumter's influence to help aid the lives of others?
Some of your loved ones may not be here today.